Well, it was only a matter of time, right? At least the last few years, we did not have this big LeBron MJ debate because LeBron failed to make the playoffs. He wasn't even in the playoffs. Injuries from him, Anthony Davis, the team sucked, whatever the case was, he wasn't in the playoffs. So, throughout the end of the season, you got a few nibbits here, there, MJ's a GOAT, 6-0, LeBron sucks, LeBum, LeChoke, LeFlop. We've heard them all. And the one thing that's always gotten to me in these things is that there's never allowed to be a debate. So let's just put the debate to bed. It's over. There is no debate. It's never going to be a debate. People can say it is. They can talk. You are not allowed to put your opinion if it is against Michael Jordan. That's it. I have the tweets, they pop up, anything on social media, they pop up all the time. From me to other people on there, you try to defend them, you get slammed with insults. You get told you're a moron. I had someone say, am I on drugs? Really? I had another person say, MJ's not even close to being the GOAT. You're delusional. Delusional. So the all-time scoring leader, whether he just did it this year or not, played over played 20 seasons. You cannot play 20 seasons and have the kind of numbers he have unless you are near the top of the mountain. Maybe you could say, hey, you know what? I love MJ. 4 championships. 4 championships in 20 years is not gigantic success when it comes to NBA terms. Right? Other leagues it is. Baseball, oh my gosh, baseball would be dynamic. Baseball's so hard. Ultimate team. You have to rely on so many guys. Football, you got to have a great quarterback. All the other positions, you need the great quarterback. Even the quarterback, though, then needs other positions. Tom Brady's one of the few exceptions, but he had a great coach. Hockey, 4 rounds, 16 games, one of the hardest to win a championship as well. Even though there's 5 people on the ice, it's a constant rotation. The NBA, that's the one where a guy can play the entire game and you're just going against 5 guys, right? You got 4 teammates, but it's 1-on-5. If you are an elite guy, you should win a championship. Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, not Sean Kemp, maybe Gary Payton. Those guys did not get it done because they went against one of the greatest of all time, if you want to call him the GOAT, Michael Jordan. I saw all those games. I lived through those series. I wanted the Bulls, when they won the 72 at the time record, to win the championship. I was glad they beat Seattle. I was glad they beat Utah. Not fans of those teams. It was fun. I did want Charles Barkley with the Suns to win. And in my opinion, that honestly, with Jordan, as we break it down with him, I'm not going to throw a bunch of stats. This is just basically my thoughts on how do you ever even have a debate when it's so much hatred towards James. But when it comes to Jordan, he was only tested in the finals probably against Barkley. Now, he had multiple series go 6, never went 7. That first one against the Lakers, Magic was at the end of his career. That was a fun series, Vlade Divac, we all know about that. But Jordan won that. That was his first title. But Barkley was the only one who was a superstar on that caliber. Malone was as well, but not to the extent of what Barkley was and how good that Suns team was. That, I think, is Jordan's greatest championship run against the Phoenix Suns, regardless of when they had Rodman and they won the record of games and blah, blah, blah. But with LeBron James, to say the guy, Jordan, every time it pops up, Jordan 6-0, 6-0, 6-0. He's 6-0 in the finals. What if he was 6-2? What if he was 6-4? Would that take away from? I never get the theory on that. It's just like with Tom Brady. So who's better? Joe Montana at 4-0 or Tom Brady at 7-3? Getting to a final is incredibly hard and should get some kind of credit, regardless if you won that title. That's 10 Eastern Conference champions. Or no, Eastern and West. LeBron's been to 10 total. But he's won a lot of conference championships on both sides. Almost double what Jordan has. People always want to say it's all about the championships. Then if that's the case, you have to go to guys who have more than Jordan, including Robert Horry. Of course, that sounds stupid, but that's my point. That's what it is sometimes when you're coming from James' perspective. Do I consider James the greatest of all time? No, I don't really think there is going to be a greatest of all time. I think Michael Jordan is the favorite of all time, and that's what it should be about. It is a popularity contest. It is, if you look at it. You can't sit there and say, oh, Jordan, if you had LeBron James go in the 80s or in Jordan's era, he'd get this, he'd get destroyed, he'd get that, he won't be able to. He would have grown up in that time. You can't live in that what if. If you brought Jordan to this time, he would be flopping. He would be doing, maybe he wouldn't, right? Maybe be more like Kobe. But the point is, when these guys flop, it's a strategy. Jokic did it right back to LeBron that same game. I don't hear anything. Everyone wants to call it a flop. Other players in the NBA do it as well because it's an extra possession. It's all about winning. Cheap, yes. You're not going to get called in a pickup game. I tried it once and I got laughed off, so it's not going to work. I ended up getting hurt and nothing happened. But that's the point, is that is a different time and a different era. You can't compare, just like you can't compare football. You can't compare baseball. Everything has changed. If you took Babe Ruth now and he grew up in this generation, he would still be an outstanding player. Just because he was out of shape then, he would be in great shape now and taking care of his body. So I've hated those generation garbage. Just take what you see with LeBron, what he has done. People want to hold every finals loss against him. Okay, so let's start with the first one, 07. Like I said, I don't have all these stats offhand. That 017 team, I think it had Big Z, right, the center, and then they also had Larry Hughes. There is no way on this planet that team should have been in the finals. If you think they should have been in the finals, you should have made a lot of money and bet on them then, because the Detroit Pistons had just won the NBA championship 2 years before. They went back-to-back and lost that second time, but to the Spurs, I believe, and they were favored to be the Eastern or they won the Eastern Conference. They were on their way to a three-peat in Eastern Conference championships. And everyone knows in that Game 6, LeBron put them on, or Game 5, put him on his back in Detroit on the road and scored like 26 straight points for his own team. He carried them. He got that team to the championship quicker than almost anyone else. Straight from high school, 4 years into his career, and he's in the finals. And he got swept by a monstrous better Spurs team that was, I believe, the defending champ. The point of that is, why would you hold that against the guy? What was he, 21? Why would you hold that against him? But it's up there, right? Oh, he's got 6 finals losses. It's up there. They lost to Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. They did not even have the better team. He did not have the better team. His first loss to them, he lost Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. But everyone wants to say, oh, he can't win without Kyrie Irving. He has. He can't win without Dwayne Wade. He has. He's won with these superstars because so did Jordan. Jordan had 0. And this is what I always say, and people will just ignore it or not answer it. Jordan had 0 playoff series wins without Scottie Pippen. It is not a knock on Jordan. It is to show how great Pippen was and how great Phil Jackson was and how, not Craig Hodges, although he was 3-time three-peat champion, 3-point contest, but how great, the power forward, why his name escaped me, with the glasses. Anyways, Horace Grant, how great they were. That team was outstanding. Jordan did not carry a bad team. He did not take like the 07 Cavs to the final and win or lose. He took a very good team and they deserved to be champs. And he was the centerpiece of it. And when I say he's never won a playoff series without Scottie Pippen, that's not to put him down. It's to say he needed help. If he's the greatest, even the greatest need help. But it's held against LeBron every time you say something. It's LeBron had this guy, LeBron had that guy. Yeah, he had Kyrie, who was completely gone. The first, nowhere to be found. He was out of that series. And LeBron, heck, had him up 2-1 and had to do it all on his own. But people don't, they throw that out. They always want to throw out the stats. Go on Twitter right now. I'll show some on here. Look at this. Everything is favored to what Jordan succeeded in and what LeBron has not. I don't see all-time scoring leader on that list. I don't see all-time playoff points, assists, all the stats. I don't see all those on the list for guys. How about 20-year career? I don't see that on the list. Championships, MVPs. He's won those too. Remember, before LeBron got his first, it was, he can't get any. He's not as good as this Kobe. He's not as good as Dwayne Wade. He's not as good. It didn't matter. The minute he would surpass him on anything, it was always an excuse. We all know what happened. Can you imagine if Michael Jordan played in 2020 and won the championship? Do you think there are any fans, that would have said, oh, COVID, bubble? Excuse, no. But LeBron wins and it's bubble. There's no win. And that's the point. That's why it's never a debate. If you want to open up debate, then take both sides. Don't just come in there with blinders on, goggles, where you're not even going to look at LeBron. Do you not like him off the court? Yeah, has he done the decision, right? That was corny. He raised money for the boys club. Honestly, you could have just gave the money. We didn't need to see the video. I agree that was lame. Not one, not two, not three. When you put yourself out there, when you want to be the man in the black hat and black coat, which he openly said, then yes, you're going to get the hatred. He deserves that. I don't mind if you don't like him. This is not, like I said, in this discussion, it's never about do you like him. It's give the guy credit. And that's all it is at the end of the day, because he's going to be gone. That could have been his last run. That could have been it. Into this series, I talked with my kids. I was like, they can beat the Grizzlies. They can beat the Suns, I thought. They can beat the Warriors. I told them, don't play Denver. If we play Denver first round, we're out. That was the one team, because they have everything dominant over the Lakers, and it showed. They swept them. But they get swept, and then all of a sudden, Twitter, how many times has Jordan been swept? It's why do you even have to bring Jordan in? The guy's not even playing. He's selling shoes and having a good life. Yet you just run to it every time because you hate who he is. And if you don't like who he is as a person, that's fine. But you're going to miss one of the greatest players of all time. In my opinion, if I had to win a game where you gave me Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen or LeBron and any of his other teammates, anyone throughout his history, I'm taking Jordan and Pippen. I'm not putting them down. I'm saying they are, especially as a combo. I can't think of anyone I would want. Shaq and Kobe, that's a different thing. I love those guys too. Laker fan, hello. But Shaq and Kobe. But when it comes to that, I would take them. So I'm not saying that. But if I have nothing right now, in the last 40 years, we all start, the last 40 years of players, and I had to start with one player in a fantasy draft or building a team, I'm taking LeBron. Why? 07. Look what he did. Jordan has never shown that he could do that. Remember, Jordan also was like 3 years, I can't remember if it was 3 years in college, but Jordan went to college and developed his game. He did not come. LeBron came straight from high school. Man, the guy was playing high school on ESPN. He's in the NBA, going out there getting Rookie of the Year. So, LeBron, I've told you I have one little stat that I'd like to share before I'm completely done. Jordan's the GOAT. Say that. You can take this, quote me. I'm a nobody, but I'm a fan. I'm a person who's passionate, and I'm not mad. I'm not, people, like I said, I've had friendly discussions. My son's coaches, we talk about it all the time. They like Jordan. They like Kobe, and they list their reasons, and they are good reasons, and I'm right there with them. I'm just telling you why I would take LeBron if I was building a team, because he has everything. He can play every position. He can be a factor in every spot in the basketball game. And he has been throughout his career. And he's got strength and longevity. And man, it's just, there's so many reasons I would take that. But you like Jordan more power to you. The last thing I want to share before I am done on this whole little topic. When Michael Jordan left the NBA, his first time, when he retired, he won the three-peat. We know what happened. He lost his father, wanted to pursue baseball. When he left, that Bulls team, I think, lost 4 less games. I don't have the numbers offhand. I think it went from like 57 wins to 53 wins. That's how good that team was. Okay? So when people tell me, when they'll put the stat, the Jordan favorite stat where, they had no Hall of Famers or so many Hall of Famers, Scottie Pippen, Hall of Famer, but they'll say, he had one, this and that. James has had all this. They can never just stay focused. It shows more hatred towards James than loyalty to Jordan. But that team was only 4 less wins. They made the playoffs, lost to the eventual Eastern Conference champion Knicks in the second round in 7 games, to where if there is not a bad controversial call, the Bulls win that and most likely get to the finals, even if they lose. Get to the finals without Jordan. That's how good they were. Remember Kukoc? Pippen refused to go out. Kukoc gets out, drains the 3. They win the playoff game. But they had so many good pieces, and they were well coached that they had everything. Jordan was the piece that put them over, but he is not what carried them all the way all the time. So he leaves. The team wins 4 less games, comes up a tad short from making the NBA Finals. LeBron, in Cleveland all those years, his initial run, took them to the finals, had them in the Eastern Conference Championship against the Celtics. And the Celtics, remember, they had made the move. That's one thing, too. Everyone says, LeBron did this. He made him, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, the 3. He started this. No. He said, I just lost after being the number 1 team in the East throughout the whole season. I carried that team. And then we lost to a team that traded for Kevin Garnett, and traded for Ray Allen and had Paul Pierce. They made the first big three. The Boston Celtics did. They brought in guys. Whether LeBron might have went to a team and brought one guy with him, right? Dwayne Wade was already there. He didn't get three guys to go to a random team, but he did that. When he left there, that Cleveland Cavs team for the next 2 years was one of the worst teams in basketball. They were the #1 team in the East to the lottery back-to-back years at first pick. They were a joke. That's the difference. That's the difference. And that's one thing you can't debate. You can't tell me I'm wrong on that. Now, it doesn't mean Jordan is worse. Doesn't mean LeBron's better. It's not my point. My point is those are hardcore stats. And when I say them, and if you made it this far in the video and you see this, feel free to respond why I'm wrong on this. Because it's always overlooked. It's ignored. I'm slammed down. I'm cussed at. I'm told I'm on drugs. I'm a moron. Yet no one ever wants to answer this. And the simple question is LeBron a better team player than Jordan? That's always my thing. When you talk about comparison, I always say Kobe and Jordan were over here. Magic Johnson and James were over here. They were the big guys. They can play all positions. They look to pass first. They like the highlight pass. The difference is James was a better dunker and more physical than Magic. But Magic was an outstanding, amazing Hall of Fame great player. My all-time favorite player is Magic Johnson. But Jordan and Kobe are over here. They are knife through the heart, cold-blooded, punch their teammates. You know, things where you're going to get it done whether you like it or not. And they're the Grim Reaper. While LeBron James is out there, you know, he wants his teammates to succeed, but he's having a good time. He's goofing around on social media with his teammates. It's a whole different environment with them. But my point is, when LeBron left, the team fell apart. Yet he carried that team to the top team in the East. Jordan left, they were the exact same. Barely. So even when Jordan does come back, they lost in the playoffs to Magic, the Orlando Magic. Shaq beat them. They had no one to stop him. They had Horace Grant. He was the Orlando Magic, right? And they had to get Dennis Rodman. I don't knock them. You need players to help. That's part of the game. But that's my whole point with LeBron, is that he's going to be gone soon. So much hate, I think, has blinded people from just stopping, admiring. You know, it's like hating Van Gogh and never stopping and admiring the beautiful painting before Van Gogh was gone. And I think LeBron's going to be gone soon. So thanks for watching. Please comment. But comment with respect. If you think I'm wrong on something, say it. I didn't say Jordan wasn't the GOAT. I just said I think Jordan is a better team player than LeBron is a better team player than Jordan. Feel free to debate, actually debate, not insult me, not come at me, but just have a friendly conversation like you were sitting in my living room with me. All right? So hope you liked it. Leave your comment, and we will talk to you again soon. Peace.